All right, guys, let's check out this Dreyfuss & Company Series 1953 watch that my buddy Homer sent over. He always seems to discover some very interesting watches, and this one I definitely feel like it falls in that category with its really nicely done finishing and integrated bracelet, unique box. I'll show you the box here in a moment, but let's just jump right into the specs, because a lot of people just don't know anything about this brand, including myself, but I'm sure maybe a few people will know. But we're looking at a 42 millimeter case, essentially lug to lug. If you could measure on just the case is like 47 and a half. But with the bracelet being integrated, it kind of changes things. The thickness, if you grab it with a little bit of that domed sapphire, you're at about 12 and 3/4, but you're definitely under 13 mil. You have a screw down signed crown. You can see there. It's actually kind of filled with some sort of polymer or something, and then it has the Dreyfuss cross in there. That's their logo, and you'll also see it on the dial there as well. And you'll probably notice that there's either no anti-reflective coating on this crystal or very little, because it just reflects everything. I did watch another video, somebody complaining about that, but the fit and finish of the watch and everything is just amazing. It is top notch. It is a handmade in Switzerland watch. Actually, it says it right on the dial. It does house the Sellita SW200, and they do have a nice Dreyfuss signed rotor. There's some other info on the back there too. Excuse the smudges, but well, here, let me wipe it real quick. So you can see there, Series 1953, Seafarer, Sapphire Crystal, Dreyfuss Company stainless steel, Swiss made, and then their signed rotor, integrated lugs, of course. Now the Seafarer, what they're referring to is if you go to their page, you'll read up, they mentioned something about the Seafarer standard, which is, I guess, a certain type of water resistance. Now, I know some people have complained about this. So the Seafarer standard water resistance is 70 meters. So I think it's all just part of their marketing and everything. I would bet you the water resistance on this is probably closer to 100 meter, but that doesn't really play into their story or their narrative of what they're trying to present to the people here. So they call it the Seafarer standard, so that gives it a 70 meter water resistance rating. But I think that might be a little low from what it actually is. So you can see there's actually still some stickers on here. Homer left some stickers on the protective stickers over the butterfly clasp. Really nicely done. You don't have to do it in any particular order. You can just kind of clasp it over. So there's that. Let me give you a wrist shot, and then we'll try to do another close-up of the dial, because the indices on this thing are really thick. So I know some people don't really care for integrated bracelets, but I have discovered that integrated bracelets typically make the watch feel more comfortable, at least from the ones that I have noticed. It just seems to flow really good on wrist. But there it is on my 7 1/4 wrist. Wears great, feels great, has a little bit of heft to it. I think they claim it's 105 grams on the website, and I kind of believe that. That's a decent weight for this guy. So if we can kind of peer through some of the glare, but you can see how tall those indices are, those applied indices. Those are very, very cool looking, and they match really good with the nicely polished handset. So, and then they all have some sort of super luminova lume on there. Homer was saying that the lume didn't seem like it was very good. I'll give you a lume shot here in a moment, but you can see a framed date window there, of course, over at the 3 o'clock, and then decorative screws on the top here. I know they're decorative. They must be decorative because they're all facing in a nice symmetrical pattern. That's difficult to do unless you're just doing it as decoration. So I could be wrong on that, but I suspect I'm not. So before we do the lume shot, I want to show you this box. So come with me for a little walk here. This is their box. This is their logo on it. And it's, I don't know if that's a faux wood or what, but it might be real wood. But it kind of opens up, and then it has their logo in there on a nice soft material, and then it has a spot for 5 different watches. So pretty interesting large box that it comes with as well. So anyway, big thanks to Homer for sending this guy in. I did not mention the price. The price on this guy, I believe they have it listed just under $1,300, but I suspect nobody's ever really paid that much for it. I see them probably hovering around the $700 or $800 mark, and potentially down, closer to the $500 mark if you're patient and wait around till one pops up. But you can see here the loom. There's not a ton of real estate for loom on those if you looked at the way those indices and the hands were done, but there's enough there that it's pretty good. So I know when Homer said that the loom didn't seem very great, maybe he was just coming off a dive watch fast or something like that, and we get spoiled with that dive watch loom. This is certainly not in that level, but this is pretty good for what this watch is, which I believe is kind of like a sport casual. It's not really a dress watch. I think it's definitely more of a casual type watch. It'd definitely be something to consider if you guys are looking for something a little off the beaten path, which I think is where this company lies. This is the first time I've been exposed to it, so let me know if you guys have any experience with it, but I think it's a great looking watch. So thanks, Homer, for sending that in, and I'll see you guys on the next vid.